Rounding to 10 in large numbers, practice 1. Hello, my name is Sarah. Thank you for joining me for this lesson. In this lesson, we are going to practice rounding to the tens place value in large numbers. You will need a whiteboard, a piece of paper, or the handout available with this lesson, and something to write with. Let's get started. In order to be able to round to the hundreds place value, we need to be able to count by tens. Let's practice this now. You do not need to write this down. Instead, just count with me. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Well done. This is going to help us round to the nearest tens. Let's see how it works. The first number we're going to round is 9,754. Please copy this number down. We are going to round this just like we do all the other numbers we've been practicing. We're going to identify the tens place value. Here, the 5 is in the tens place value. Let's underline it. Next, we're going to circle the number that will tell us how to round. Remember, this is always the number behind the place value. Next, let's identify the numbers we are going to ignore. We are not going to pay any attention to the 9 or to the 7. So right now our focus is on 54. We're going to round 54 to the nearest tens. 54 can either round to 50 or to 60 because those are the two tens it's between. 0 to 4 we will round down. 5 to 9 we will round up. 4 tells us we are going to round down to 50. So we can copy the numbers 9 and 7, but now we're going to write 50 because that's what we're rounding to. Nice job. So 9,754 rounded to the nearest tens is 9,750. Be sure to check your work. The next number we're going to round is 3,068. Be sure to copy this down. We are going to begin by identifying the tens place value. The 6 is in the tens place value. Then we'll circle the 8. We can ignore the 3 and the 0. The two numbers 68 can round to is 60 and 70. 0 to 4 will go down. 5 to 9 will go up. 8 is the number that tells us how to round. 8 is going to tell 68 to round to 70. So when we write the number it rounds to, we will copy these two numbers first. So we'll write 3, 0. Then we'll copy 70 because that's what 68 rounds to. So 3,068 rounded to the nearest tens is 3,070. Be sure to check your work. The next number we're going to round is 8,441. Be sure to copy this down. 8,441. We're going to round to the nearest tens. We need to underline the tens place value, which is 4, and then we'll circle the 1. We can ignore the 8 in the thousands and the 4 in the hundreds. So we're only going to concentrate on the 41. 41 can round to either 40 or 50. 0 to 4 rounds down. 5 to 9 rounds up. We have a 1 that is going to tell 41 to round to 40. So when we round 8,441, We're going to copy down these two numbers first, the 8 and the 4, and then we'll copy down the 40 because that's what 41 rounds do. So 8,441 rounded to the nearest tens is 8,440. Be sure to check your work. We only have a few more numbers left to round. The next number we're going to round is 983. We're going to round 983 to the nearest tens. Let's underline the tens place value, which is 8. And then we'll circle the 3. Now, look at the number. What number can we ignore? The 9. 83 can round to two different numbers. Write down those two numbers. 83 can round to either 80 or 90. 80 will be 0 to 4, 90 will be 5 to 9. We have a 3 here. The 3 tells 83 to go down to 80. So when we round, we're going to write the 9 and then the 80. We'll write the 9 because it's still 900, and the 80 because the 3 tells 83 to round down to 80. So 983 rounded to the nearest 10 is 980. Be sure to check your work. The final number we're going to round is 435. Copy down 435. The first step is to underline the tens place value. Here, 3 is in the tens place value. Then we'll circle the number behind it. The 5 will tell 35 how to round. We will ignore the 4. What two numbers can 35 round to? "35 can round to either 30 or 40. Remember, if it's 0 to 4, it will round down. If it's 5 to 9, it rounds up. The 5 behind the 35 tells 35 to round up because 5 is between 5 and 9. So when we round, we'll put the 4 that we ignored before, and then we're going to put 40 because the 5 tells 35 to round to 40. 435 rounded to the nearest 10 is 440. Be sure to check your work. In this lesson, we practice rounding to the tens place value in large numbers. Thank you for following along.